Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age 100% guide. We are trying to get all of our people up towards level 40, and yeah, it's super exciting. We're after beating the Bomb King, which means we can explore really an area that we're not really meant to go near, but we're level 40 nearly, so like we're over leveled and we're able to get there, which is great. But we are basically going to be going to the Necro Hall of Nabudis just for a quick visit, for a quick little cutscene. Nothing too serious, but Fran is now getting maximized out of all her techniques, and I'm then looking into Red Battle Mage, and I'm like, oh my god, look at all these magic lures. I should have been getting them. Oh, so exciting. You know, it's like, feck, I really slept on these. So, for some cases, with our other boards, we need to be like looking out at them, but at the same time, if I just finish one board, then like all the goodies from the second board are like ripe for the taking. But yeah, we're gonna collect some of these treasures anyway. And I'm Frocia of Bruxious Wine, I think it is. But as you know, we need to like fill out all these maps, so you can see that like there's a little nook down here. We need to make sure we collect it. And then I look over to the eastern side and I'm like, oh, we have more money, but we can head over this way. And then it's a quick little jaunt to the Necro Hall, which is what we want. And there's also a hunt outside the Necro Hall as well. So while we're over here, we might as well take the time to fill in the map as we're running over. And the overlay really helps kind of us to see, okay, what have we explored, what have we specifically covered, and what still needs to be worked through, I suppose. Fran just taking the fact that we just have a gun and a bow and arrow and there's just like these wild chickens, it's like, yeah, our hunters got their prey. They were fast asleep in the woods. They had no chance really, you know? And yeah, just down here we enter onto a bloody massive trap, but we can basically revive Bosch with Baltier. And what's nice is that looking through Bosch's like additional little subsections, we can actually gift him Phoenix lore, which means Bosch can be a really good healer. I'm going to just pause and we'll pick up after this little cutscene.
This is all that remains of Nabudis. 2 years ago, it was destroyed utterly by a mysterious force. The work of the Midlight Shard.
This? In just 2 years? How?
As the Dawn Shard brought down the Leviathan and her fleet, a fell mist spilled forth. It is like the same thing happened here. The Nethicite's mist has corrupted the life of this place. It is a Necro Hall overrun with beasts. We tread here on a fool's errand. We had best turn back.
Is it revenge that you desire? Yes or no? Not this way lies the capital. The road to Arcades leads east of Salika Wood, beyond the Phone Coast and Sita uplands.
So yeah, this area is trap-filled, it's mist-filled, it has enemies that are red text, which means they are not easy prey at all. So we're going to immediately turn back. But on returning into the Salika Wood from the Necro Hall, that's our hunt. I kind of originally forget what it's called, and I'm like, oh, this must be like a special spawn, maybe. But then running out to it and realizing it's actually nearly twice the height, if not 3 times the height of Bosch, and then I'm hitting it, and I'm like, oh, we're actually not doing that much damage at all, really. Interesting. Maybe it's not a, maybe it's actually not a unique enemy. And then about here I realized, oh no, actually, I think this is the enemy. I think this is like the big bad guy, you know? And we're just getting rid of sap, so that way he'll try and put on sap, and then he's inverting us, which is turning our max MP into our max HP, and then applying sap again, and inverting again, and first aid and cure. Like, it's actually mad the amount of like healing that's kind of happening. But Bosch is just like, I don't care, I have a sword, and I took you down before I went down. So, not the most graceful of wins, but like, Bosch won out in the battle of attrition. Baltier's first aid, like just being able to just rapidly heal when HP is super low, like wild. Wild carry on. But yeah, that's another hunt done. And we have another little map area basically finished. We just need to go to that little nook in the northern section of this map. And then that should be the entire map finitoed. For like this section anyway. And yeah, we're getting close to the Imperial City, the Empire State of Arcadian Empire. And it's super exciting because I mean, whenever we get to Arcadia, that's basically a big moment of like, let's get another big boost to all your equipment, let's get new accessories, let's get new magic. And like, it's the magic that I really want. Like, I want, you know, Ashe, I want Pinello, and Fran, really. Like, Fran is basically the third backup mage. I want them to feel like they are crazy powerful. I want them to feel like they can just utterly destroy whatever they want. But yeah, then we step on a sap trap and it's just freaking annoying. And then I'm like, oh, just get me Pinello. And let me just Asuna this away because it's just super duper annoying. You can either Asuna it away or you can regen it away. And then what's nice is that I can go into like the reserve and be like, I want to cast regen on Fran, who I know also has, you know, sap on her as well. Now, one area led to the Necro Hall of like Nabudis itself, and then here's the basically the outlands surrounding the fortress of Nabudis. And this is basically known as the Nebrayan Deadlands. You can see the similar enemies here. And I kind of go, okay, let's just have a look at them, see how strong they are. And yeah, too strong, way too strong. Back we go to the Salika Wood. Sorry, wrong way, much the wrong way. And like, again, I love it. I love it when a game isn't afraid to be like, this area has this much strength of the enemies. And like, yes, you can try go there, but like, if you are not the level you are meant to be, you will just suffer. It will be really painful and you will die. So, yeah, like, we just need Faraga, we need like better equipment. And that's also what I love, because the stats from level up, yes, are good. And as you can see, we kind of have one of those enemies on its own, and like one we can handle. But it's when it ends up being a whole cohort of enemies that, you know, stuff ends up being a bit too difficult to deal with. But yeah, I love this area of the game. I think it's so vibrant. It reminds me of like Fortress City in like Pokemon. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, like just the... Like, clearly there was a civilization of people that because of the destruction of Nabudis, they obviously had to flee. Like, creatures didn't build these shelters, you know. It very much feels like a treetop civilization that then had to evacuate due to high, like, mist problems, and now it's just been reclaimed by nature, reclaimed by the monsters that prowl it. But we are just going to take a moment with the save crystal, you know, and we're going to just check over our hunts, and I'm like, yeah, this is the Mossfront Highways, this is in the Nalbina Fortress, and we're just going to use some teleport crystals just to report back and just get them completed, get them finished, you know. And since we're at the save crystal for here, you know, why not? We can literally just a couple of quick teleports and then we can be back and continue on our journey. And like, I feel like games as big as Final Fantasy X, as Final Fantasy 12, like, it's just so good when you can just teleport. Now, I actually find, and 13, oh, we got a measure and a high ether and some money. And then, yeah, it's good. Now we're off back to Nalbina, and Nalbina has a very, very particular special feature. I'll talk more about it when we complete more missions, but basically there's multiple missions within Nalbina Fortress. And Nalbina, each of the hunts there, every concluding conversation will have you be visited by a Sikh, I think it is, the little kind of short pig people. And basically these guys. But yeah, if you talk to the lizard man here and just be like, hey, after beating Atmos, you're welcome. And he's like, you made short walk of Atmos. Caravans shouldn't be any trouble now bringing the stuff to the city. Hey there, Jovi. You're grinning ear to ear, bro. Now what's this hubbub about? And then he just looks at Vaughn and snorts. And didn't mean to keep you so long. Here is the reward for Atmos. You earned every gel. Now, as it happens, I was like, oh, stuff for our white mage. Let me have a look. The leather shield and stuff isn't... Oh no, sorry, the platinum shield is good. But the Gaia rod we already had. It deals earth elemental, so not sure if that's good, bad, or indifferent, but we got both of our stuff there, and now we can look into the Roblon. And once again, it's in the Nebrius Deadlands. And basically this guy's saying that, like, this was my home, and I'm profoundly sad that, like, this monster is just stalking the area. And you can basically talk to him further on. You can talk to Morgan here. You're the young man that's been hunting marks. I've heard of party adventurers who'd recently went around there and noticed the giant golem, and I can't bear that Roblon is after killing his son and, you know, is defiling his hometown. So he wants it gotten rid of, gotten gone, and we can hunt them down, basically. Now, as I had said in a previous episode, after next episode, we're going to be going back and getting the Barian Key, and we're going to basically explore that area and finish the Bloodwing quest. And hopefully, if I can also show off the Hen Mines, and basically show you the EXP exploit there, and just being able to leave your game running for like an hour or 2 hours, and then come back and like you've gotten like tons of levels. I can then hopefully take on a few more of these much harder hunts just by having level advantage rather than gear advantage. But sorry, I don't know if I finished that train of thought. What I like about Final Fantasy 12 is that, like, yes, you can go to all these different areas because the enemies are leveled. And, like, you could also just grind and grind and grind till you get your level and stats from leveling to a certain amount. But equipment is such a game changer as well that it's actually like, well, actually, no, like, you just need to get to a certain point in the game where you can start collecting this really powerful equipment. And that's basically where the game is either broken or, you know, is kept safe by the equipment and how useful it is. But now that we're back in the Salika Wood, we just need to go to this one zone, and this is where the other 4 Moogles are, just chilling out. So we'll just basically go talk to these 2 other groups of Moogles. That'll be all 9 of them done. And then I basically refuse to get auto-teleported over just because I'm like, I'm in this zone of the woods, and I just want to take the time to basically, you know, fill out the geographer part of the map. I might as well run around, collect some more license points, and just while I'm there. Oh, and this is something else. I then realize, actually, if I just go status ailment any, and then I apply Asuna, will that just cause Pinello to cast Asuna whenever any ally is applicable with this spell? And thus far, it seems to have worked. So, instead of having 15 different gambits for like, oh, if this happens, do this spell, if this happens, do this spell. Now, the only thing is, will Asuna get rid of Bravery and Faith? I don't think so. I think that's to spell. But like that, I now don't need 5 or 6 different gambits for getting rid of poison, getting rid of blind. I can just have, when this happens, get rid with Asuna. Anyway, we're going to just get these 2 little moogly guys boogly woogling down to the door. Now that you found all the Moogles, they were like, do you want to come back with us? And I'm like, no thank you, I want to stroll around the forest myself. And I'm like, okay, we can skedaddle down this way to get to this southern part of the map, and then that's actually nearly all the Salika Wood done. Which obviously we love. What I'm not going to love is, and like you guys already know, the different Namyensa deserts, and yeah, like that's going to be a lot. Like that's going to be a lot of sand, and it's just so rough, and it gets everywhere, and it's real irritating, you know. Oh god, such low-hanging fruit. Such low-hanging fruit. I really shouldn't. But, like, listen, I didn't give him as much props while the fight was happening, but, like, Bosch endured that hunt super well. He, like, was blocking, was parrying, was reflecting. It was great. And just like that, we're after kind of doing up, I'm pretty sure, all of Salika Wood. And then if we just head back there, we can basically open up the Fawn Coast. And that's a whole other region. And like, that's one other thing. Like, the amount of love and, you know, art design and like the world of Ivalice, biome by biome, like area, music, vibe, aesthetic, background, enemy variety. Like, a bit similar to Spira, except Spira didn't have as much diversity. Like, there was like one desert island, whereas this game has like multiple different like layers of desert and sandstorms and stuff. Like, the more I'm thinking, the more I'm like, okay, Spira didn't have an awful lot of these things. But like, we haven't even fully explored all of Ivalice yet. Like, okay, now I'm comparing back to 10, it's like, okay, a deep forest, we kind of have the Salika Forest, the Salika Woods, you know? Yeah. Maybe Spira and this are the same, but I still hold my point that I do think that this world, well, actually no, I'll tell you what Spira didn't have. Spira only had like one cave. You know, the cave with Yojimbo, but like this has like multiple caves, multiple like dungeony architectures to explore. Spira was mainly outside, and maybe you checked out Zanarkand. But like, we have had dungeons, we've had mines, we've had prisons, we've had, you know, cities in the sky, we've had loads. Like, there's so much cool things, I think, in Ivalice. And I love exploring. Like, as much as I'm saying, like, oh, the Namians, that's going to be really annoying to just physically run everywhere to fully map out the map. I just think I wouldn't even mind it, though, because it's so pretty to look at, the music's so nice to listen to. Like, I just think it's really fun. And I like the fact that you can just go from the top of, you know, the map and just run south, and for most of the situation, it's just run, run, run. Like, you can just do so much, I think. In terms of traveling, you can go to many places and it all feels interconnected and like it makes sense. So basically what ended up happening and why I ended up cutting back was, unfortunately, I was like, oh, I'll go back and talk to the guy and see if he goes back to the Mosfern High Waste, or if he like journeys on to the if he journeys on to the Hunter's Camp. But now the poor little Moog is like, I think he's making us go back to Nabudis to do repairs on the old palace, and we're like, don't do that, you will die. But pretty much we're going to go into a cutscene. So I've been the RPG Recusant. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a continued wonderful rest of your day. Talk soon. Bye, bye-bye.
It would seem we made the right choice. If we'd taken the easy way and come by airship, one of those patrols would no doubt have been quick to roll out the red carpet. We're on the Empire's doorstep now, so we shouldn't have to worry quite so much. But that's no excuse to get sloppy. It is still a long road to the capital,